everyone. Wow, this is like a racket. Thank you all for coming. You must be expecting something tonight, I don't know, unless the donuts were good. The first order of business is going to be handed over to Peggy Christie. She is our co-chair for the unit reps, and the unit reps have something to do with our annual membership meeting. This is not a board meeting, so there's no board up here. They're all scattered around, and I think I see everybody. Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to hand it over to Peggy. Thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome. Good evening. Thank you all for being here with your physical presence at the annual meeting. On your agenda, the first item says, establish a quorum. According to Article 10, Section 3 of the Brookridge bylaws, the members present at an annual meeting shall constitute a quorum, regardless of the number present. Number 2, the chairperson. According to Article 7, Section 3 of the Brookridge bylaws, the president shall preside over all meetings. Therefore, Gail Metcalf's in charge. Madam?
Hey, everyone. You know, this is my last time legally having the mic in my hand. You never know what I'm going to do. No. Actually, I'd like to officially call the meeting to order. And if we could, first of all, turn off all the cell phones and remove our hats. Give you a moment to do that. Because if anybody's cell phone goes off, you know I'm going to point you out. Okay, and then we're going to stand for a moment of silence, and then our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Does that sound great? I think we should all go into the classrooms and teach those kids how to do that. It'd be a great volunteer program. Yeah. And you know, you can never tell. I might go to those schools and suggest that to them. Okay. That's right. Next, I'm going to bring Linda Smith up here. She is our secretary of the Board of Directors until they reorganize tonight. So Linda, if you could come forward. She has a couple of things the secretary needs to say.
Thank you. Item 5, proof of notice of meeting. I hereby certify that Messner Publication has provided verification that on February the 1st, 2019, an annual package including a notice of this meeting was mailed to every member who was on the Brookridge roster of property owners as of 12/31/2018. Item number 6, approval of agenda. Approval of agenda. Topics introduced that require all membership notice cannot be approved but can be discussed. Item 7, approval of minutes. The minutes of the 2018 annual meeting were approved at the April 19th, 2018 Board of Directors meeting and are available on the sign-in table. 2020 Annual Membership Meeting Agenda is March 19th, 2020. Members may submit in writing items they would like to be considered for the 2020 Annual Membership Meeting Agenda. Please turn in items to the Administration Office by Wednesday, October the 10th, 2019. Those topics will be placed on the Board of Directors agenda at the Wednesday, October 17th, 2019 meeting. Item 8, correspondence. We have no correspondence. Item 9, annual report of officers. Gail Metcalf with the President's report.
And before I present my report, we'd like to give a special thanks to all the election committee members. And I'd like to say their names. Beverly Epstein, Kay Dittmer, Ed and Sharon Baines, Jan Silva, Linda and Percival Phillip, Frank Verhoeven, Lucille DeGuaya, Michelle Adams, Pat Cass, Alice Gilliland, and Mary Sweeney and Isabel Rand. These people, what these people's jobs were, as the mailings came in, every Monday they had to sit in the conference room and sort them and make sure that the people that had put their addresses in and did it correctly were listed. And that's to make sure that no one votes twice. And they did this every Monday. And I'm hoping that they had so many that they were overwhelmed. I don't know. Okay. So I will, wait a minute. Where is it? You really don't want me to go by memory. Okay, where's my report? Who's got my report? Do you have my report? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, that's mine too. I think she wanted to do it tonight. Okay, this is your 2019 annual report. And what this report is it's important for all our residents to know what our employees are doing during the year. And I'm just going to go over some figures, and I'll go over them slowly. If you have any questions afterwards, just don't be afraid to tell me. But our employees work really hard. You might see them just doing little things, but there is so much work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody has a clue how much they actually do. So I'm going to start with administration. We had 241 new homes and or lots sold in 2018. That's a record. We had 14 new homes installed. There is a huge push. People are coming in all the time with those new homes. And what that entails is that security and code enforcement have to be there every step of the way to make sure that they obey our rules. We had 171 rental properties this year. That's not bad, 171. And that's seasonal and yearly. Our background checks, we did 658 background checks. Those are the number of people that wanted to come into Brookridge. And the last piece of information I want to give you is called the Age Certification Data Report. Now what this report is, per state statutes, in order for you to have a 55-plus community, at least 80% of the homes have to have at least one person 55 or older. This year, we have 95.74% of those homes are now, at least one person is 55. Just to do a comparison, in 2013, when Brookridge became a 55-plus community, there was only 81%, so we just made it under the wire. So as people have gotten older and have moved out, we're doing really, really well. And that's what we're hoping for, is a true 55-plus community, and I think that we're pretty much there. We only have 89 homes left that have someone who is not 55. So that's what the administration office takes care of. And that's just a little part of what they do. Now the budget. We all know that that proposed increase of $1 monthly assessment didn't pass this year. That's really sad, because we have been working on operating budget 4 years in a row. We have been flat. We haven't put anything into the budget. Can any of you say that you've been able to do that with the increase in everything that's gone on? But what I found really, really sad was out of 2,830 eligible voters, 418 people voted. That affected, only 400 plus people affected this whole community. And what's even sadder is that we lost the vote by only 10 votes. There was 204 votes for and 214 votes against. And I will give you a little insight as to what that's done to us a little bit later on. Now, the problem, and it's a trend, we only have 300 to 400 people that have voted for the last 6 or 7 years for the ballot, for the annual budget. What we're going to do, Ray Giroux had talked about this, because it's really sad when that happens. I think we're going to do a mailing again this year, like we do with the annual, so you can bring your votes in before the day of the votes, because number one, there's a lot of people that aren't here, and number two, you can only vote one day, and a lot of people forget that one day. So that's what's going to cost us a couple $1,000s, but I think it's worth it for the consequences that we've been going through for the last 4 years. Reserves. Many residents complained, and I got those, I got the emails and I got the conversations. They complained that we used that $2 raise last year. To them, we spent all that money and now we're looking for another $1. Well, folks, that's not true. And this year we're going to talk more about the reserves, but I want you to know that the reserves that we used last year have accumulated over the last 30 years. There's a little bit that is put into this element, there's a little bit put into this element, until it comes up to what the reserve study says we need. So that money that we spent last year, it wasn't that $2 increase. So what happens is that the general manager, Ray Giroux, has to review the reserve study each year. Yearly projects must be done according to that study. We as a homeowners association, and that's what we are, We have the fiduciary duty to properly maintain our assets, and this is according to state statute. We can get in a lot of trouble if we stop doing those things. Just saying. As of the reserves spent last year, we spent a total of $397,963. Out of those reserves, we did the restroom renovations. I'm sure most of you have seen those beautiful new bathrooms that we have, the men's and ladies' room. They're now separated and it's much better. We had clubhouse tables and electric range that we did here at the clubhouse. Under site elements, we did more road paving and road striping. Under the security reserves, the inbound barrier, that's the front gates and the pedestrian gates with matching side fencing, which along with that, you have to have a swiper, a pass card to get in. That has helped us to just have people coming into Brookridge that belong here. In the clubhouse, we are very busy. We have over 60 clubs and activities going on almost every single week. Through donations of our clubs and Friday night bingo, the clubhouse was able to purchase 50 new chairs, of which you're sitting on, I believe, 32 long tables, 4 pool lounges, new horseshoe pits, and a partial payment for the new stove. Now, we've been fortunate that Vince has been able to sustain the clubhouse through this year. Unfortunately, with no budget increase, changes are going to have to be made. And one of the most important things that have come up, that either we're going to have to close the pool before it gets dark, and the other thing they're seriously thinking about is to close the clubhouse totally on a Sunday. You don't realize how much electricity it takes to run this whole clubhouse. And if we don't get new funds this year, that's what's going to happen. We're not threatened. It's not a threat. It's reality. We almost had to do that last year, but everybody, took a hit so that we wouldn't have to do that, because we're here for the residents. So that's reality. Okay. Our Public Works Department, they work on projects all year long, along with their regular maintenance schedules. These 3 employees are everywhere, from maintaining the retention ponds and fixing the drainage and mowing the grass on all of our green property on a daily basis. They also have to mow the unkempt lawns in the summertime, and that's a lot of lawns that we do. And they have to take time out of their schedule to do that. And this past year we had trouble keeping up with it. And this is only a fraction of what they do on a daily basis. In a perfect world, with an updated budget, we really need another person there. But we have to wait. And this is a really large community. You see them everywhere. And it's hard for them to keep up everything, because their job, as much as it is the board's job, is to keep everything beautiful for Brookridge. Now, I'm going to go on to 5 committees that help Brookridge run very smoothly. These committees are made up of volunteers. And the first is the Architectural Control Committee. They processed 260 applications last year. And these were residents wanting to make improvements to the outside of their home and on their property. And we have very strict guidelines. And their job is to make sure that everybody goes by the guidelines. There are 7 volunteers that do that work every other week. It's only a couple of hours, I think, on a Monday. So consider it. The Violation Review Committee reviews the fines and suspensions handed down by the board to make sure the governing documents have been followed. Presently, we have 6 residents who meet the Thursday after the Wednesday night meeting to do this. Another important
committee that we have is the Finance Committee. These are 5 residents that are appointed in June and work 5 to 6 weeks, 1 meeting weekly. The supervisors and general manager provide their budget requests, and the Finance Committee reviews all of the information and decides a budget to present to the board in September. This year, we had 5 members. And then we have the unit reps. They're all sitting over there. Kind of cool. But these unit reps, what they do is they visit new homeowners. They visited over 200 homeowners this past year. There are 12 of them, and they also assist the board of directors during elections and with many of our residential functions. These positions are elected each year. And then we come, not last but least, the Beautification Committee. They take care of the boulevard, the pond at the clubhouse. That's right, give them a pat on the back. In front of the guardhouse and around the front sign. We have a fall to spring crew. Those are the people that are snowbirds. And then we've started a summer crew to keep the places watered and weeded all summer. These people work very hard to keep this place looking awesome and to take some pressure off our already overworked Public Works Department. This committee depends on donations from clubs and residents to fund our projects. This past year, they received 4,957 donations, and we thank everybody for that. The expenses so far were $2,687, and that includes all the memorial trees that have been purchased and the expenses. And we have 19 members presently on that group, and we're looking for 4 or 5 more to help us in the summer. Now, some of you may have heard a rumor. Yeah, the rumor is true. This is my last duty as president of Brookridge. I have thoroughly, and don't laugh over there. I have somebody who's laughing at me. I have enjoyed my time thoroughly, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve this community. But it's time for John and I to return to have some retirement time, and we're going to be discovering Florida. We've been here for 5 years and we still haven't been to the state park. So we're going to do all those kinds of things for the next couple of months. So that's really what I'm leaving for. And I need to say thank you to some people. I want to thank every employee that works here in Brookridge. I've tried to meet every one of them, and I'm thankful for the hard work that they do to keep the community running for all our residents. Special thanks to our supervisors, Billy Benoit from Public Works, Vince Pizzo down there with the clubhouse and facilities, and to Captain Greg Schubert over there at security. And you know, I've enjoyed working with each and every one of you. And I also want to thank our ladies and the general manager, Ray Giroux. They're our upfront ladies and Jen. They have helped me to learn all about Brookridge, and there's a lot to learn. And it has been an amazing experience, and I can't thank them enough for being welcoming to me. I want to thank my fellow residents. You have had that much confidence in me and respect me, and I just am overwhelmed by that. And I especially want to thank my present board members. We've been together for 5 years, and that would be Rosemary, Ron, Linda, and Ken down in the back. We've done some amazing things in these last 3 years. They told me that they never worked so hard. But we did a great job. And I thank you for having the faith in letting me lead Brookridge. Although people, I think nobody else wanted it, and they said, oh, Gail will do it. No, thanks, just kidding, just kidding. I feel that
I feel that I'm leaving Brookridge in good hands. We have an amazing board. They're very people-oriented. They're going to, let you speak, and they're going to listen to you. They might have to say no like I do most of the time, but at least you'll understand. But I'm leaving Brookridge in good hands. One thing's for sure, though, the board meetings will most likely be a lot shorter. But they never learned to gavel me. See, they didn't read all their Robert's rules. But it really has been an honor, and I'm truly humbled by being your leader for 3 years, and I thank you.
First one.
I don't know if that was, that they were happy for me or happy I'm leaving. I'm not sure. No, really. I've been blessed, really. So, I'm going to introduce Rosemary as our treasurer. She's got a couple of things to say. I said a lot of things in the report, but she's got a couple of things to say to you. Rosemary?
I'm really not going to try to bore you with a lot of figures, but from January to December, our gross income was $1,695,714.49. We collected $1,465,747 in assessments, $60,700 in fines, and that's thanks to Ken and his people. And we received $27,000 this year from bingo. They do a lot for us. In our operating expenses, $2,178,791.33. That's what we spent out. A few of the highlights: our electricity, $125,110.10, and 84 of that is for our streetlights for our security. Barcodes, $4,345.97, and that is a fixed rate because there's only one company we can get our barcodes from. And gate maintenance was $2,517.65. Every time our gate is down, it costs us approximately $500, not to mention our lack of security. So I implore you, please, make sure you don't tailgate. Let the gate come down. Every time that mechanism is put to use, it wears and tears on it, and eventually the gate breaks. So please, there can't be anything out there that you have to be in that much of a hurry for. And statistically, when you get to the end by 50, you have to stop for a red light anyway. In our reserve expenses, there was $816,354. The clubhouse, $104,447.71. $23,926.60 in security, and $264,775 in site elements. And I think most of you know what those are. Our total expenses for the year January to December, $2 million, excuse me. I wish it was only 2,000. $2,178,791.33. We had 6,250 write-offs for the VRC. That means fines we did not collect. And for other fines, $3,634.88 for other write-offs, for a total of $9,884.86. according to the figures that I have, our net income minus $483,076.84. We're in dire straits. 2014 to 2018, expenses have gone up 300%. But we have not put any money in the operating expenses or the reserves. It's going to be, there may be drastic measures taken. And I don't pity I shouldn't say I don't pity. The person who takes over as treasurer is going to have a daunting task, meeting with the finance committee and Ray Giroux and the supervisors to try to get some money. Because right now, we don't have it. If there were a catastrophe to happen at this point, like with Hurricane Debbie, we have no money in the budget for overtime, for security. There are other projects that we're going to have to put on hold. But please, think about it when it comes time to vote for the budget. We're not going to slap you with a big expense, hopefully. I mean, our goal is to try to keep everything within reasonable limits. But please think about this. You get a lot for $43 a month. A hell of a lot, excuse my French, but more than a lot of other communities. They may have the same amenities, but they charge $4, $5, $10, hundreds of dollars more. Villages charges over 200 and something. Silverthorne, 300 and something. So think about it. $43 is mighty inexpensive to have everything you have here. So with that, I'm going to say, just think about the budget, think about monies. If you can think of anything. I would implore the new treasurer, would like to have, instead of 5 members, 7 members. That way we can have some more ideas to kick around. They can have more ideas to kick around. So please, think about it. When the notice comes up for the Finance Committee, I'd like the new treasurer to see a lot of applications. So thank you.
Good job, Rosemary. Next, before we go further, hot off the presses is our audit draft. They were supposed to have it to us on Friday, but they sent it what time? 3 o'clock this afternoon? Yeah, get it 3 o'clock this afternoon. They are finished with the audit. It doesn't look like there's anything awkward about it. It looks like it looks like our numbers are good, but this is just a draft, and they are going to send us a report. How long do you think that will take, Amy, for them to send a report? Within the week? Yeah, within the week. And as soon as we get that report, we will let you know through an email, and then we will have it available at the front office. So I thought I'd be able to give you that information tonight. And I can't, but that's okay. It's coming. At least it's coming. Okay. Next we have no unfinished business. And the new business, we actually have the spectrum. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said something. Okay, now the spectrum program, this came to us, quite a few residents either called, came to a meeting, sent letters, and sent emails. Because there's, I know Timber Pines does it, I don't know if another community does it, but Spectrum has this program for communities, homeowners associations and condo associations. And what it is, let me see. Okay, what it is, if we all bought into the Spectrum program, you know, we all pay about $140 for basic it would only be $46.30 a month. Sounds like a great idea, huh? Okay, you know we always say, sounds too good to be true. Okay. Those of us that do have it, we would love to see that, wouldn't we? Unfortunately, there can be not one opt-out of any homes in here. Okay? Now I'm going to explain something to you. Okay? We did, Ray had done the statistics for me. Spectrum's highest customer count in the last 12 months for the internet was 1,724 homes. That means that we had 744 non-subscribers. And the highest customer count for the last 12 months for TV was 1,569 customers. 899 people did not subscribe. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this, and the board, you know, when we discussed it, it was like, do we want to do a poll to be considerate of every person in here? Now, the survey, we would have to make sure, I would want to, and the board along with me, does not want one person to be left out of the survey. Now, some people can say, yeah, okay, you know, if 70% of us say yes, then we should do it. But people, you have to understand that those 900 or so subscribers for TV, some of them use, you know, the dish and everything, and the 744 people that don't subscribe to the internet, I would say about 80% of them don't because they can't afford it. We have a lot of people on fixed incomes. Now, if we decided to do it, those people have no choice. They have to buy in. And the other issue that the board personally has is that you would not be paying Spectrum, you would be paying Brookridge. It would have to be part of your assessment. So along with your $43 assessment a month, you would also have to pay that $46.30 a month. Your assessment would come out to $89.30. Okay, let's just grasp that for a moment. We need a new budget. We need to go up in the budget if everybody wants their amenities like they do. What is the chances of us doing that if we have to put that $46 in with that? I'm really scared about that. Yeah. It would be great for us because we have internet and TV. Oh yeah, we'd love to. But it's not fair to the 800, 900 or so people, and I want everybody to think about that. Now what I've asked is that, oh, and another thing, a lot of people came up to us after the meeting and said, oh no, my friend only pays $10 a month, or my friend only pays $30 a month. Well, the people that are paying that $45 also. That extra $10 to $40 is if you have the premium channels, if you have an extra box. It's all, that is what you pay. You don't have to pay that, but that's what you pay. So anybody that talks about, you know, they've only got $10, that's over and above what we pay. So what the board decided to do, instead of just going ahead and saying, well, we'll do a survey to see how many people would like this. Now we have to remember that a survey is going to cost us $2,000 to $3,000. And you know those paddles you got there tonight? I'd really like to see a show of hands of the people that are willing to spend that much money to do a survey, and we're going to have 800-900 people that are going to be forced to pay that really can't afford it. So, and this is fairness, we want to bring it to the group. We got a whole bunch of people here tonight, so we've got a pretty good crowd. So, I would like to see a show of those cute hands of the people that want the board to spend the money to do a survey.
I don't trust spectrum.
Okay, no, we have two. And you know, don't forget, our board meetings for the last 3 years, and I know it's going to continue with our guys and gals, we do this by decorum. And decorum simply means that you show courtesy to everyone in their opinion, and you respect each other, okay? You haven't seen any outbursts in our boardroom, and that's the way it should be for the last 3 years, and it's going to continue. So what I'd like to do now is to a show of those hands as to who would be against spending $2,000 or $3,000. Sure, okay, people.
Name and unit number?
Oh, Diane Pasno, Unit 2.
Okay. I was just wondering for like snowbirds.
Sorry, I forgot about the snowbirds. Okay, it's in here. The snowbirds would really get a nice rate. Seasonal subscribers would not have an option of just 6 months for the season, but the seasonal option, that seasonal option is $130, 0.73 times 6, that's $784 that you're paying now. It would still be for the bulk rate, and for the TV and the internet is $46.30 times 12, and our seasonal people would only be paying $555.60. So yours would also go down because of that. Does that help you?
In essence, it's about $200 less over all year.
Okay, for the seasonals, we have about $220 less.
Russ Peters, 15116 Rialto. Is that going to be a permanent?
Question. You're stuck for 5 years. You're stuck for 5 years. And, yeah, that's all it is 5 years. Okay? But let me expand on that. Spectrum also, in their contract, stated that they are guaranteed a 3% raise every year. Expected 3% raise every year. It's in their contract. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
I have a question. Linnell Wiki, 4. I'm in 4. What about those houses that are empty?
Still charged. Still charged because
Who do they charge?
the homeowner. There is somebody who owns that property.
Okay.
It's every doorknob.
Okay.
So the
And
people
do we have some that are foreclosed, and what happens to those?
Foreclosure is in the hands of the attorney. That fee would have to still be paid. It would still have to be paid. No exceptions. Nope. Not one opt-out.
I had a satellite now for
Ernie
40 years.
Peterson.
Ernie Patterson. I've had satellite now for 40 years. You mean to tell me I gotta get rid of that or pay $80 a month?
Yep.
Yep. Where's the law in this country?
$46.30.
Where's the law saying that we have to have it? Tell me the law that says we have to have it. There's a law saying that.
Okay. This is the contract.
I don't care about the contract. I want to know about the law.
Okay. There is, the law is the contract.
I did not sign that contract.
That's right. Absolutely. If we opted to do this, we are signing a contract.
Who's we? Who's we?
All of Brookridge.
What about the ones that don't want it? You get the NFL network on that?
Absolutely. No, you know, but this is a good question because people are asking that. And that's all I'm saying is the people that do not have the internet or the TV now would be forced to have this fee. You would be forced. There's no opt-out. That is their contract. That is their contract.
David Gray, Unit 1. This conversation is more about the 899 people who are not currently using this service than it is about the people who are using the service. It is very undemocratic to expect 899 people to involuntarily pay this kind of money when they're not paying it now by choice. It's a non-starter.
Absolutely.
Paul Harrison, Unit 3. Gail, you said you need 100%. Do I get 3 minutes or less?
You're down to 2:45.
You said we need 100%?
You have to have 100%.
So if one person opts out, it's no deal.
There's no opt-out.
I mean, one person votes no, and it's no deal.
It's what I'm asking, if you people would think, if you're contemplating, you know, maybe this would be a good thing for me, personally. But what you have to remember is all our neighbors. All we're asking, because this came up and a number of residents asked us, and that what this board does is if we have interest, it's our duty to investigate that interest. It's not necessarily what we want, but it's not necessarily what we want or don't want, but people have come to us and asked us to investigate this.
This, what you had said originally, Spectrum needs 100% of the community.
Mm-hmm. Voting to have a survey would not have anything to do with the contract. Our survey would be, are you willing, okay? You don't have to say anything more.
No,
okay.
Also to that effect, also Brookridge is going to become the bookkeepers for Spectrum.
Exactly. That's right. That's exactly right. We have to become the bookkeepers. And if somebody doesn't pay the bill, if they decide to just send in their $43 instead of their $46 also, guess who's going to pay the bill? Because we have to pay it every month. Exactly. We have to pay it every month. That's the contract that we get.
No, I was $195 a month with Spectrum. So I had the silver package.
You've had your 3 minutes.
Right. But anyway, what I'm saying to you is, anybody, I got rid of Spectrum, I went to Roku, which
Okay,
is $29.99.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's still, right.
You still need internet. I pay Spectrum $21.99 a month for 80 channels.
Okay, next person. We want to keep it, we want to keep the discussion. Oh.
Right here.
Maynard.
Unit 4, Maynard Morrison. I had an experience with when first Spectrum came into the area. I had Bright House, which everybody had Bright House. And I asked Bright House, could I drop my phone? No, it'll be $33 more on your bill.
Yeah.
1 month later now, Spectrum stepped into the picture. And I asked Spectrum, I said, I want to get off of Bright House. I want to join Spectrum. Because you're advertising on TV, $33 for the phone, the computer, and the TV, right? She says, no, you have a contract with Bright House. I said, I do not have a contract with Bright House. I do not have a contract with you. You advertise that there's no contract. I don't want my phone. She said, then it'll be $33 less.
Yeah.
Now, that's the same way, that's the reason why I say I don't trust Spectrum at all. And my wife has a grandson that works for him, and he said, don't trust him, period. Thank you.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. Because this is a monetary obligation that we would have to pay, is there a rule and regulation that would cover this? That is that what the board's voting on? Or is this something because it's a monetary thing that could be included as a yes or no vote in the budget?
Okay, if we would not, the vote tonight is to have a survey, because we don't believe that we should dictate to 2,800 homes, okay? A good portion of those homes, you know where I'm going with this. Good portion of the homes cannot afford it. You know, our things are gonna go down, but what about these people that can't afford it? Okay.
Hi, I'm Joanne Edmonds, Unit 2. We were about ready to raise hands or not. We were about ready to raise hands or not raise hands, and I think there's been some really great discussion here. But I would request that you put out your question again.
Okay, you want to move the question?
Yes, I think it's time because we heard from everyone.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. I have one more, and that's it.
Steve Bastieri, Section Unit 4. We're forgetting one thing about our future. Anybody, if you adopt this, anyone that wants to buy in here is going to have it. And they're going to pay more for it, and the assessment's going up. You're forcing these people, if they want to buy in here, they got to accept Spectrum, no matter what. That's terribly wrong.
Gail, last question.
We're out. Okay.
Gail, Jackie McCabe. I'd like to tell you something that happened to me this week. A very good friend of mine lives in High Point, and she was just recently widowed. Her accountant came to the house to help her out with what she's going to have now to live on. And she said, I can't afford all this with Spectrum. He called them, and he got her bill down just for her by another $50 because she's been widowed. So why don't we all do that?
Yes, Pam has to kill her husband to get that. Okay, all right, we've been asked to move the question. All right, now, the question is, would this body of residents feel comfortable having a survey, spending $2,000 or $3,000 on a survey to contact every household to see if they would allow Spectrum to come in? That is the question that you have before you. All those in favor, because we've had the discussion now, all those in favor of doing the survey, please raise your hand, your paddles. Okay, got one. Okay, I got two. Okay, all right, we've got two. Okay, now the people that do not want to expend the money to see if possibly every single person in here would be amenable to that, please raise your paddles.
Raise your paddle.
I don't think we need a vote. Thank you. Okay, now I hope that we can put the Spectrum thing to rest. Okay, so when anybody talks about the Spectrum, you're all going to be very well informed, right? Okay, I see that. Okay, just one more thing, just an aside, trash, Republic, boo. Did I say that out loud? There's nobody here from Republic. If there was, I'd love to have them come up. Okay, what has happened is myself and Ken Holstrom, oh my goodness, the name from the past, Ken Sajak, Ray Giroux, and I met with 2 representatives from Spectrum, from Trash, all over the place. They need a drink. Republic. Okay, we got the marketing director from Tampa and the director of operations from Hudson. I had 96 emails of all the people that had emailed me back when I asked for input. 96. I had separated them from the ones that didn't get the trash, didn't get the bins, whatever it was. These 2 people listened to us, Ken, for what, about an hour? They had some really nice things to say, and they gave all the excuses, and then, of course, I do my homework, so I knew how to get rid of those excuses. And he promised us that he would look at that list and have a preliminary report for us the next Monday. Well, that was 3 weeks ago. I called him, couldn't get a hold of him for almost a week. And so I kept calling until he answered his cell phone. And you know, I'm tempted to give out their cell phone numbers. I am like right there. Good thing I don't have them tonight, but you may get them. And he said, we just haven't had time. You will have it by Friday. Well, folks, that was last Friday. Haven't contacted me back. I called them, I got their voicemail again today. So even though I'm going to be off the board after tonight, I am still going to be one of the people that will help the board to keep talking to them. The next step is going to be Mr. Malaco, the representative from the county commissioners that got voted in. And I want you to know, all those guys that get voted in this past time, Republic gave them a lot of money. And they gave them a 7-year contract. 7-year contract. That's what your county commissioners have done. They've turned their back on the regular people, on the residents, and have gone to the businesses. I'm not afraid to say that. I'll say it to him. I'll say it to Republic right in front of them. It was a no-bid contract, and that was shameful. That was shameful. So I have nothing, I'm sorry, I have nothing more to report, but the board of directors will be keeping you informed. Okay? So that was just an aside because I was hoping I would have something for you tonight.
Good job, girl.
I tried. I tried. Thank you. Thank you. Now, election results. Woohoo! Board of Directors. Where do I get that? Here she comes. The envelope, please. And this is what she does. She writes her name on it, and then she licks it so that if anybody tries to open it, and you know, they wouldn't even let me see this today. But one more thing I want to get. Okay, we ready? Amy, you going to keep track for me? Okay. We ready? Okay. Mr. Matthews, 809 votes. He gets a 3-year term. Mrs. Bastieri, 768 votes. She gets a 2-year term. Ms. Nutter, she had 708 votes. She gets a 2-year term. And the last one is Anna Webster. 551 votes, and she gets a 1-year term. And Mr. Benoit got 522 votes. So I would like to congratulate each and every one of you, and I would like you to all come up forward, so number one, we can see you, and then I can induct you. There's one, there's two, there's three, oh, there's four. Okay, would all my candidates, I'm sorry, all our inductees, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been appointed to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the governing documents of Brookridge Community Property Owners, Inc., that you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, in the very manner possible, endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of the citizens of Brookridge and the welfare of its membership? Do you so swear? You may lower your hand. By the virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim you as a duly appointed Director of the Board and officially installed into office. This is going to be an interesting year. That's right, 4 women on the Board of Directors now. Guys, we like you too. Okay, next, we don't have any, all of our unit reps, there was no election. So I would think we need to give these people a hand because they do a lot for Brookridge. Thank you. Oh. The total vote was, I don't know. I don't have a total. Do we have a total?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, the reason why we don't have a total is that tomorrow they have to hand count every vote for the state audit. So in case there's any mistakes, and there was last year, but that's okay, it's human error. And we will, so they have to ratify the votes beforehand. Okay? All right. Now, the next document is for the amendments. And the amendments were deed restrictions. So these had to be a 2/3 vote. On the sheds, we need 67% to pass. The sheds passed 72%. That's a good thing. That's a good thing because now the guidelines that the ACC and the deed restrictions, they're together. We had 776 yeses, and we had only 296 against. There was 1,072 votes passed. The sheds, item 2, we needed 67, I'm sorry, the fees. We needed 67% to pass. Unfortunately, we only got 54% of the vote this year. There was 578 for and 488 against. It's good odds, but we didn't quite make it this year. So we had 1,066 people that voted for that, and that one failed. Now this year, we had 60 voids. Now those voids are ballots that 60 people passed in, and they either did not put their name on the outside envelope. They just threw the ballot in. Can't do that. There's a simple reason. There's only one reason to do that, is that we have to make sure that we know who is voting, and that only one household votes at a time. And we can't do it, so 60 people, we don't know what their votes were. We could have passed that fees, but we didn't. Okay? So I want to thank all the people that that voted. Do you have something to say, sir?
No, I'm waiting for...
Oh, okay. So we'll take any comments? If there are any comments? No comments. Oh, we got one.
I was just about to make a motion to close.
It's about anything, right?
Yes, I'm sorry, let me clarify that. This is the part of the evening that you, as a member, you have 3 minutes to discuss something. There is nothing that we can vote on, but if it's something that's important, it'll go to the Board of Directors and they will take action. And this is when you can say good things and bad things and things that you'd like to see the board do in the future. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Nancy Floyd, Unit 2. Well, there was some comments about the palm trees in our subdivision. While they are still green, they are the only source of food for your palm tree. Unnecessary pruning of the green fronds means the palm tree is deprived of food, and this causes suboptimal growth. However, once the fronds turn brown, they are not able to manufacture food and can become a nesting area for pests such as rats, scorpions, and even become a fire hazard. The reason I bring it up, I have a disaster next door to me, and if that starts on fire, my house goes up in smoke. This is ridiculous, and it's been there over a year now. Half of the palm tree is literally brown. They're not going to fall off. That's only down south in Miami where the fronds fall. These fronds are not falling. All the debris is, but not the fronds.
Okay, can I make a suggestion? And this has been working out very well. Write a letter, or just if you don't want to do a regular complaint, just write a letter with your name and your address so you know where it is and your phone number. Put it in an envelope and bring it to the front office and either sign it to the Board of Directors or to code enforcement. And then they will check this out and somebody from the Board of Directors will get back in.
I have mentioned it. He's right here.
Well, he's not, all I ask is that you write a letter, and you can do it, and you can send it to the Board of Directors. You give the envelope to Miss Vivian, and it comes into our mailboxes.
Okay.
Well, their mailboxes now. Anybody else? Yeah, this gentleman down here.
My name's Terry Himmons. What are we, four? I just want to share a little bit of knowledge that I learned in the last 2 weeks. And I know we beat Spectrum until it's a dead horse in a spot in the road. But I learned something about Spectrum. My bundle ended. My bill went up $50. And I understand a number of you, and a lot of people I talk to have gone through this. So I decided to cut the cord. Now, I'm a big internet user. We watch TV. But Spectrum has a TV package called TV Choice, which gets you all the Tampa stations, including ION, CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox, PBS, and then you get to select 5 other channels. The cost for this package is $20 a month. It's not the select package, it's not the silver package. It's called TV Choice. And if you don't ask for it, they're not going to tell you about it. If you have a DVR, that's extra. Just sharing knowledge.
Okay, thank you. Now that's just for the TV part. Don't forget, you have to have the internet. That's separate. Thank you, Terry.
Gil Lanto, Unit 3. When thing about the security gate, I wasn't aware of it, but I was pulling a trailer over the weekend, and I do have a barcode. I said, well, I might as well go in the left lane and go through. But people don't realize if you go through there with a trailer, that bar can come down between the two vehicles. And I don't know how many people realize that or not. But there's no sign that says no trailers to your right.
Do we have, is there anything with it that are pulled? Yeah, if you look at the inside, it will tell you that the right side, but yeah. You have to, exactly, do it, but if you're pulling something, you have to go in the visitor. Are you saying yes or no? There is a sign.
Greg, isn't there a sign out there?
Yes, there is.
It's right on the right-hand side. You pull on a trailer, you go on the left-hand side and have the car open the gate for you.
Thank you.
Marge Roloff, Unit 4. I was told by security that if we had a trailer, we could go through the right side. I don't do it, but I was told we could pull our trailer through the right side with a truck.
Yeah, let's not do that. Greg is going to have to find out who said that.
It was me, but we were having a longer discussion about...
Other things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, you want to say something?
Like Unit 4, I was told by Ranger O that trailers could come in on the right side. I was told by Ray.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please clarify it.
Okay. The issue is that there is a magnetic plate underneath the ground there, and if your trailer tongue is too long, that yes, the bar could come down if the reader doesn't detect the tongue of your trailer while your vehicle exits the plate and before the trailer gets on. If that happens, it is your responsibility. So there is signage out there suggesting that you use the visitor's lane when you are towing something. But it will work with a barcode. It just depends on your rig, what you're towing, the length of the tongue.
Does that help you? Okay. All right. That's what we're here for tonight. Anybody else? Going once? Up?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Let's are we gonna vote on it? Okay. All right. Let's say.
All in favor?
Are we going to adjourn? Yes. Okay, I gotta see a show of hands. Let's see those things. Okay, we're adjourned. All of my new. Make sure you turn the paddles in back there. And our new directors, you need to stay.